You know what? I'm tired of martinis. I want some rum instead. Goldeneye is the first 90s James Bond film and Pierce Brosnan's first time playing James Bond. Bond must prevent an old friend from destroying London with a weaponized satellite called Goldeneye. I was 15, 16 the first time I seen Goldeneye. I rented it on VHS. Do you remember VHS? I'm sure some people do. I somehow didn't like it. I don't know why. Maybe I was in a bad mood that day. Maybe a few characters annoyed me. I'll say this right now. I didn't like the theme song. Does anybody like it? At least 2 years later, I gave it another shot. I like it now. It's a good Bond movie. Maybe some feel it's an important Bond movie after all. It's the first 90s Bond movie, as I said. I feel it's Pierce Brosnan's best Bond movie. I might as well say The World Is Not Enough is the first Bond movie I ever watched. Goldeneye is a fun movie. It's not cheesy, but it doesn't take itself so seriously. This may sound weird or contradictory. Although Pierce Brosnan was my first Bond, Daniel Craig is my favorite. Casino Royale and Skyfall are my favorite Bond movies. However, I enjoy fun stuff more. I enjoy fun Bond and gritty Bond. They're both good. Of course, some people don't like gritty Bond. They both work. Did I say that already? I'm sorry. I shot a lot of takes. It's a bad habit. I don't always move on after shoot a decent take. Well, actually, I do it all the time. Goldeneye is like a back-to-basics Bond movie because the Dalton movies were dark. The world wasn't ready for dark Bond. Brosnan's movies are like Connery's movies. They reflect their times. They reflect the 90s. And they're more respectful to women. Yes, they have plenty of gadgets and over-the-top villains, larger-than-life characters. Yes, Pierce Brosnan was a good Bond. After all, he played him a few times. A lot of people liked him. I heard Brosnan felt he didn't do a good job. That's too bad. His Bond was Connery and more combined. Charming and witty, but ruthless and misogynic. Yeah, his misogyny is why some people don't like him. He's more loyal to the government than his friends. Yes, Brosnan definitely has charisma. I guess Daniel Craig doesn't have any charisma. I hardly think about charisma, but then again, he plays stoic characters. He should play a few lighthearted characters. Sean Bean plays Alec Trivian, the villain. He's a rogue MI6 agent. That may sound like a huge spoiler, but I don't think it is. Why does he want to blow shit up? Don't worry, I won't spoil it. Sean is a good actor. After all, he's had a long career. He's played a lot of villains. Spoiler alert, he died in this movie. Xena on top is a secondary villain. She's a Russian mercenary. She's a freaking psychopath. She kills men for sadistic sexual pleasure. She wraps her legs around the guy's torso and crushes them. Doesn't that sound disturbing or out of place? Doesn't she sound like she belongs in a Daniel Craig movie, or any gritty movie for that matter? It's probably worth mentioning, her one sex scene is the first explicit sex scene in a Bond movie. Maybe it's pointless to talk about the action. There's plenty of action, it's fun. There's no shaky cam bullshit or CGI. Well, shaky cam wasn't a fad back then. Shaky cam should just die already. CGI wasn't exploited then. It was exploited at least 2 years later. I'm thinking Armageddon and Deep Impact. Pierce Brosnan may not be an action star, but he's still convincing in the fight scenes. The best action scene is the tanker chase. Yeah, it sounds weird, but whatever. Most Bond movies are fantasies. So, is there anything about Goldeneye that I don't like? Well, like I said, the theme song sucks. I feel the Bond girl, Valentia, I think her name is, was boring, forgettable. There were two lame characters, Boris and Jack Wade. I feel Bond acted like Timothy Dalton's Bond in a few scenes, and yes, I know after License to Kill came out, Timothy Dalton still wanted to play Bond, but he lost interest after a while. Alright, I'm going to quickly talk about the game. I'm not talking about the N64 version, I'm talking about the remake, GoldenEye Wii. It's a fun game. I rented it in 2010. Me enjoying it is kind of ironic because I'm not a huge shooters fan. Yes, it's very faithful to the movie. The biggest difference is Daniel Craig has replaced Pierce Brosnan. One modest difference is early in the game, Bond goes to a nightclub to tell someone maybe a Russian gangster. I haven't played the N64 version. Yes, I know it revolutionized the first-person shooter genre. A lot of people love the game. Chris Suppin loves it. GoldenEye gets an A. It's a fun Bond movie. It's back to basics. It's a typical Bond movie, but it's not lazy, far from it. It's not a cash grabber, at least not in the bad way. Let me know what you thought of GoldenEye. Did you like it or somehow hate it? Who's your favorite Bond? As always, thanks for watching, guys. I'm thinking about reviewing Limitless. Have you seen Limitless? I want to give you a random question. Do you prefer this position or this position? Yeah, it's random, but I'm kind of curious about which position should I use. Does it really matter? I'll talk to you later.